Hey everybody, another World of Tanks replay, this one in an M41 Bulldog on Kharkov. This wasn't a spectacularly well played game from me. In fact, it wasn't a very well played game from me at all, nor from my team. The reason I want to show this one is because of the rather interesting use of Autoaim. Now, I've said it before, I do rely perhaps a little too heavily on Autoaim at times. I'm going to once again say that it's mostly because of my high ping, and also I'm not exactly that good at Twitch stuff. I've never been good at Counter-Strike or any sort of, or Quake or anything like that. I'm more of a slow-paced game sort of guy. I'm a Red Orchestra player, so quick reactions, not my thing, and Autoaim does help me account for that. Enemy T-49 straight away puts an HE splash into my tracks, but barely hurts me. And this is why Autoaim is not something you should write off out of hand. Now, in this position, I'm extremely difficult to hit. Trust me, I know. I've tried shoot bulldogs that were doing this. It's a pain. Most of the time, though, they don't seem to realize they can effectively shoot back from this position. Sure enough, if you knock down the little piles of wood there, you can actually fire over the barricade without exposing very much of your tank. And if you pick the right targets and wait for them to be distracted, you can put out a decent amount of damage from this position. The Bulldog is especially good for this because it has very high velocity shells, APCR. The pen's alright, but the velocity is the main thing. They're going to get there very quickly, so if you manage to catch an enemy who's peeking out of cover, they're not likely to get back into cover before the shell arrives. Flank gets cleaned up. Unfortunately, the enemy have established control over about 2/3 of the map in the north, and here our heavies are hiding. If you actually look where our heavies are, we have 4502B and a Tiger 2 sitting on the next road back, when they should be up here helping us with the Rheinmetall and the ISU 152. But alas, it's up to me and the medium tanks to deal with the big guns and the tank destroyers, while our heavies hide really, really hard from lower tier mediums. Such is life in World of Tanks. Of course, by the time the heavies do finally start to move, our team in the west has completely collapsed. The enemy have pushed right into us. It's not looking real good. And although we are close to the enemy cap, I'm dubious about whether we could have capped this one out. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to take this one on the chin and say that it was probably a good deal my fault that we didn't win this. I should have sat on cap as a light tank, having the additional camouflage and being small and difficult to hit. But I just wanted to go shoot things, not least because I was trying to get the light tank 15 mission done still. And I think that now counts your own damage as well as the damage you spot for. So I figured, oh, I can have a high damage game in my light tank and I'll get LT15 that way. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that, and I didn't pick the mission up anyway, and we also lost this. But as you can see, the enemy are already returning to their base, so I have my doubts that we would have won even if everyone had piled onto cap. And although I make a quick getaway from the tortoise, I run headlong, quite literally, into the STA-2. There's a pretty clear gulf between the two teams in terms of skill. Most of our team were pretty abysmal. The enemy team had some bad players too, but not quite as bad. They were a bit more consistent, I think. And they just outplayed the tanks we had in the northwest, particularly if you look on the sort of northwest diagonal road. We lost 6 tanks just on that road, which is ridiculous. I don't know how they all rolled over and died up there. And then of course we have a 4502 who has not moved all game, and the Panther 88 who is cowering behind a building behind the enemy cap. So again, you know, even if I'd piled on cap, I'm not sure we could have pulled this out because our players were just so bad. So a bit of a fuck you got mine, and perhaps not the most thrilling game to watch, but I just think it's a pretty decent demonstration of one of the sort of less appreciated uses of the auto-aim function is to just pop out, shoot somebody over some cover that you normally would have trouble aiming over manually, because it's right up in your face, and then just zip back. I tend to do it around tank wrecks as well. You've no doubt seen it in my previous videos. It's actually something I've been doing pretty much since I started playing the game, is auto-aiming people, hiding behind a wreck, and just scooting out until I see the little reticle marker jump from my cover onto the enemy tank, and the second I see that jump, mash left mouse, and usually I'm able to hit them and pull back into cover before they can react. Would I be able to do the same with manual aim? Maybe if I had a better internet connection. Maybe if my reflexes were a little faster, yes. But the other nice thing I think about the auto-aim route is it does allow you to stay in third person and therefore keep your situational awareness, which is a big thing. You know, some people can quite happily sit there and zoomed in so far that they could see individual fucking atoms on the front armor of enemy tanks across the map. I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather be zoomed as far out as possible to actually, well, you know, when I'm in my gun sight, so I can see what's going on around me. And if I'm not actively shooting at something or trying to see what's going on at a distance, I'd rather be in third person, because that way I can actually see what's going on around me. And I don't have the, you know, the really high level map awareness with the mini map to use that instead. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Relatively short one. As ever, I wish you the best of luck in the field, and I'll see you on the next one.